welcome back. I'm going to continue where we left off, and I received some pretty controversial insights that Mary is going to talk about. I don't know why these guys keep doing controversial things, but okay, if she wants to talk about it. So brace yourself for today's permission slip and how to do it. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you at the end. Beloved ones, are you ready to face your fears, shame, guilt, anger, loathing, distaste, disgust around sexuality? If yes, I urge you to pause this video and bring your notebooks and pens, for this permission slip is going to have many parts to it. First, we are going to identify the shame and your negative thoughts and beliefs about sexuality. And then we will do some basic shadow work. I say basic because it is not very detailed or more intensive. Michael had shared more about shadow work. If you have already practiced those methods that he spoke about, this will be easy for you. If not, then it may feel challenging at first to do the shadow work, because I will not explain much how it is done. I will only share the method to do it, not the reason behind it. If you have watched my previous transmission on awakening the divine feminine, or Michael's transmission on shadow work, then that would be a good way to prepare for it. Even then, as long as you keep an open mind to do this exercise, it should work out fine. Once we have done the shadow work to integrate some of that shame, then we are going to move to the actual sexual transmutation process. It is advised that you do it after taking a bath, preferably a bath with some bath salt in it. If you cannot use bath salt, a regular bath with soap should be fine. Water cleanses your energy body. So I urge you to either take a bath before you continue the transmission or the exercises, or if you are an energy healer, then you can do some energy healing on your sex chakra, sexual organs. And in that case, if you have taken some energy healings just before doing this transmission or watching this transmission, then it should be fine. In other words, I'm asking you to clean your energy body either using bath or energy healing, whatever is convenient and accessible to you. So let us begin. If you are ready with your pen and paper, I'm going to ask you some questions to bring up your negative ideas about sex and sexuality. So the first question is, if I ask you to have sex in public with your partner or anybody of your liking, if you are single, what negative thoughts or emotions would come up? If I ask you to do it now, what would stop you? Write those thoughts down in one sentences each. Keep it brief so that we can identify the core ideas between those thoughts. I'll give you 2 minutes to write what will stop you from having sex in public. Right. Now, let me move on to the next question. If you are partnered or if you already have a partner or a spouse and you have sexual desire or thoughts about somebody who is not your partner or your spouse, what would those thoughts be? What would stop you from pursuing that sexual desire with somebody who's not your partner? Take 2 minutes to write those thoughts down. You can also pause this video if you have more to write. Write in one sentence for each thought instead of writing paragraphs because we will be working on each one of those sentences. So let each negative thought that stops you from pursuing a sexual desire be summarized and encapsulated in one sentence each? I give you 2 minutes for that. Move on to the third question. If you feel an urge to masturbate or engage in using any kind of personal pleasure methods, any kind of method by yourself which deviates from the social norms but allows you to have pleasure, what would stop you from pursuing or engaging in that? I want you to write those thoughts down. I'll give you 2 minutes. All right. If you have any other negative emotion or negative thought around sex or sexuality that is not covered in these questions, you can write those thoughts down too. Now that you have the full list of thoughts, we'll move to doing a short shadow work. Now remember, these thoughts need to be taken each one at a time, and you have to do shadow work on each one of those thoughts. And this will not happen in one day or 1 week. So take your time to take each one of these thoughts and doing the shadow work on each one of these thoughts, because that will liberate you and prepare you for Kundalini and spiritual development, and also to harness the power of sexual transmutation. Now, understand that if you do not do the shadow work and release these thoughts and the emotions associated with these thoughts, then what will happen is your sexual energy is already tainted with the negative energies of these negative thoughts and emotions. So, when we will be doing the sexual transmutation exercise, you will be ending up taking that unclean energy and spreading it on your body, which is not good for you or your cells. The cleaner the sexual energy, the better it is. You can also use a genuine quartz crystal between 100 to 200 grams of size and clean the energy body of your sexual organs along with the shadow work. Cleaning the sexual organs energetically as well as doing the shadow work both will enhance the results. So, in order to energetically clean your sexual organs, you can use the quartz crystal, a clear quartz crystal of 100 grams to 200 grams of size, and take it in your hands after washing it in salt water. Wash the crystal in salt water for 2 minutes to release any previous psychic impression or any dirty energy contained in the crystal that may have happened during the transit while you purchased it, or if somebody touched it. Crystals absorb energy of those who are touching it. So do not share your crystal with anybody. And clean your crystal before and after every use. Simply wash it for 2 minutes in salt water. You can also instruct the crystal to release dirty energy from it when you are washing it in the salt water. That would be even faster and better way to clean it. After wiping it dry, you can take the crystal in your hand and program it using your thoughts or your words, saying, "Crystal, I want you to absorb all the dirty energies, negative energies, diseased energies from my sexual organ and my sex chakra." Just say this one sentence and repeat that 3 to 4 times to make the programming of the crystal stronger. Remember, crystals have consciousness, though their consciousness is very basic. So they cannot handle more than one instruction. So don't give them too many instructions at once. Simply repeat the same sentence over and over again for 3 to 4 times. Crystals, please absorb all my dirty energies, negative energies, diseased energies from my sexual organs and my sex chakras. That's all. And you can either place it on your hip, on your thighs, or on the side of the body. It will still do the work. And lie down for at least 20 minutes or 30 minutes. You can, the crystal needs to touch your body, so you can hold the crystal in your hand near your hips, or you can put the crystal on your sex organ as long as it's not hurting. You can do it from over your clothes or near your hips. In other words, the crystal needs to be around your sexual organ. And just lie and rest and relax for 20 minutes while the crystal does its job. Do not overextend it, because It may start absorbing fresh energy instead of the dirty ones if it has thoroughly cleansed your sex organs. So don't do it more than 20 to 30 minutes in a day. You can do it every alternate day. Don't overdo it because that may drain your sexual energy. So you may start feeling fatigued or not having any desire for sex. So don't overdo it. After that, after 20, 30 minutes, take the crystal and put it in a salt water solution in a bowl. Don't use that bowl for anything else. Keep that bowl only for cleansing your crystals. Put some ordinary salt and water. Put at least a handful of salt, 1 liter water, and put the crystal completely immersed in the water and wash it with your hand in the salt water while it's completely immersed. And now give a new instruction to the crystal. Crystal, release all dirty, diseased energy in the salt water. Disintegrate and release all dirty, diseased energy in the salt water solution. Just say it 3, 4 times to the crystal while you're holding it inside the water, and then leave it overnight for at least 8 hours. The salt water is going to disintegrate the dirty energy released by the crystal, and the crystal will be cleansed on its own. Next day, you can simply take off the crystal from the salt water and throw the salt water away and keep the crystal wherever you wish to keep it. This way, you can clean your sexual energy and sexual organs on a regular basis, energetically speaking, which will assist in this process. Also, you need to do the shadow work along with it. They both go hand in hand. So now I will be talking about the shadow work. Now that you have the list of thoughts written down, I want you to go through the sentences and find the one which is the loudest or creates the strongest of negative emotions. It could be shame, guilt, fear, anger, hatred, pain, whatever. Whatever negative emotion you may feel when you read that thought, if it's the strongest or the loudest, pick that one thought. So, an example that I would be using, it may not be your thought, but I'm going to use this as an example, is say, having sex with somebody else who's not my partner means that I am a bad person, hence I'm not going to have it. Or that is a wrong thing to do. Or sex is bad. Or it is so shameful to do it in front of others. Or anything, any thought that creates negative emotions in you that you have written down. Pick one. And let's do some shadow work on that. So I want you to say that thought and notice what feelings come up. Say, for example, if the thought sounded like it is so shameful to do it in front of others, and you felt a tremendous amount of shame, and I want you to feel the shame in your body. For example, For you, it could be a different thought with a different emotion. So, if it is whatever it is, feel that emotion in the body. Where do you feel it? How does it show up? What bodily sensation are you feeling? So, this is a immersive exercise where you don't need to take notes. Simply be present in your body and notice the sensation, the discomfort, the pain, the tightness, whatever the sensation is. Where do you feel it? How does it feel like? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least, 10 being the maximum, how much do you experience that negative emotion? Is it a 10 or a 8 or a 4 or a 2? Write that down and go back to noticing that feeling. It is going to feel uncomfortable, but I'm here with you. We are doing it together. I'm holding the space for you. If you feel like crying during the shadow work at any point, feel free to cry and don't hold back your tears. If you feel anger, you can release the anger by screaming into a pillow or a cushion or beating up a pillow or a cushion. Don't hold back the anger. Allow yourself to release in whichever way you wish to release it, either screaming or beating the pillow up or whatever. So now that you feel that emotion in the body, when you think that negative thought, I want you to say to that part of you that felt that thought, to the part that feels that negative sensation, you are right in thinking that way. Your feelings are valid. My feelings are valid. Yes, anybody in your place will feel this way. Your feelings are valid. My feelings are valid. Just keep saying this in a loop to that sensation that you feel wherever you felt in your body. Did you feel it in your throat? Then touch that part and say, this sensation in my throat, you are valid. The shame in my chest is valid. The anger in my stomach is valid. You are valid. Just keep saying to that sensation and notice what happens to it and your body. I'll give you 2 minutes. You can take more time to do this by pausing the video. Take as much time as you need. You may notice that the sensation starts to go away or become lesser and lesser and lesser. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much is it now? Write it down. Now I want you to keep saying that you are valid to that sensation until it completely goes away or is replaced by a different sensation or a different feeling. Either any one of these two situations may happen. What we are dealing with here is the repressed and suppressed emotions that you have, which have been suppressed in your childhood for long, long years. And now you are facing them. Now you are allowing them to simply be. You are accepting and validating their presence, which is deeply healing and nourishing for them as well as your body, your mind, as well as your soul. Some of these validations may actually start healing your body if you have any illness, and you will notice that, especially if it is connected with these thoughts. If it is not, even then, you will experience emotional peace. So, I want you to pause the video and continue the exercise now. Keep validating that emotion that you felt for that negative thought until the emotion is completely gone, meaning on a scale of 1 to 10, you feel 0, or it is replaced with a different emotion in a different part of the body, or maybe in the same part. It doesn't matter. A different sensation. Say, for example, if you began with shame, after the shame is gone, maybe now you feel fear, or maybe anger, or whatever. So allow the new emotion to emerge and feel into it again. This is not something you can do in a rush or in a hurry. You need to give yourself some time to do it. So pause this video, validate the first emotion. All right. I assume you have done it, so I'm going to continue. Now, if a new emotion has come up in place of the old one, I want you to validate it the same way. Say, for example, if fear came up and it felt like a stabbing pain in your chest or in your head or whatever, it can express itself in different ways in different individuals. So I want you to, again, put your hands in that sensation or mentally connect to that discomfort, tightness, pain, whatever that is, that new emotion that emerged, and say, you are valid, you are right. Anybody in your place will feel that way. I acknowledge you, I see you, I accept you. You're valid, you're valid, you're valid. Keep saying these sentences to that sensation repeatedly on a loop until it completely goes away. Pause the video and take as much time as you need to do it. Now, as you can notice that either that emotion has completely gone and you feel total peace, or another emotion has come up in its place, replaced it. It may not be in the same body part, or it may not feel the same. It could be a different emotion, but it is still connected to that same negative thought. I would urge you to stay focused in that one negative thought that we chose at the beginning of this exercise and not jump around on different thoughts, because that will not allow you to experience full healing for that one aspect of you. So the process is to allow each emotion to come up and you validate it and it will go away. Then a new one comes up, you validate it and it goes away. This way, all the emotions that are related to that negative thought will be integrated and all of them will go away. And if you have successfully completed the process patiently, then at the end of the exercise, you will feel total, complete peace inside you. And when you think about that thought again after finishing that exercise, you will experience no emotional charge to it. The thought would have changed and your perspective would have changed about that thought. That is the mark and the evidence that the shadow work for that thought is complete. Now, if healing each emotion is taking up time, you can do it in installments, meaning you don't have to do it all in one sitting. However, that is preferred. It can take anywhere between the entire process for each thought can take anywhere between 15 minutes to 1 hour or longer because it depends and changes from person to person. So if you cannot do it in one sitting, you can do it at different times. Pick up where you left off. But pick one thought, do the shadow work on it in this process that I've described, and heal it. This is integrating the negative aspect or the dark side of you. And this is an attempt of you becoming vibrationally similar to Source, because Source contains both the light side and the dark side. And unconditional love is a total acceptance of both the way exactly it is. So when you are validating the emotions, you are accepting it the way it is for what it is instead of feeling a judgment towards it. And it is this acceptance that allows you to release the negativity from it. And you experience total integration and peace. So once you have healed one thought, you can pick a different thought that you had written down on some other day or in the same day, whenever you feel like, and heal each one of these thoughts in the same process. This will heal your sexual energies, it will heal your body, it will heal your negative emotions, your negative thoughts, and you will experience great peace. I promise you that. So do not give up on yourself. Take time out whenever you can. Do it in your own pace. There is no rush, there is no hurry, there is no compulsion to having to do it in one sitting. Take as much time as you need. And this way, do the shadow work to heal your sexual thoughts. Once you have worked on all the thoughts, you will notice your opinion and perspective about sex and sexuality has drastically changed because you as a person have changed. You have accepted all the desires you have about sex. Because remember, humans did not have any limitations on sex. In the early days, they could have sex with anybody. There were no social institution of marriage. Monogamy was a choice. It was not an order by the society like it is now. Some people who chose monogamy preferred to have one partner, while those who preferred polyamory or polygamy, they would have multiple partners or they would switch partners, and all was acceptable in the early human days. It's only when sex was shamed and marriage was institutionalized is when all the mayhem, sadness, and everything began. So many humans on earth are miserable in their marriages and still continue to be in their marriages because of their limiting beliefs around relationships, sex, sexuality, and marriage. I urge you to explore those beliefs and release them, either using the same method that I described or any of your own that you know. Now, I'm going to move to the last phase of this transmission, which is the sexual transmutation. The whole point of doing the shadow work and the energy healing work was to cleanse your sexual energy so that it is healthy and ready to be transmuted, meaning distributed across your body so that your chakras and the cells in your body absorb it. Now, if you are watching this transmission for the first time, I urge you to not doing this in the first time. Please do it after you have cleaned up at least 50% of the thoughts that you had written down and at least 4 to 5 crystal cleansing sessions, meaning you have cleansed your sexual organs with the crystal exercise that I described at least 5 times or more. The reason I ask you to use this precaution is for your own safety. If your sexual energy is not clean, if it is tainted with negative thoughts and emotion, then you would be taking that negatively charged sexual energy and distributing all your body, and that will have negative consequences for you. So I urge you to be responsible and use your intelligence and discernment to do the shadow work and the crystal cleansing of your sexual organs first, and only after having both done many times and you feel a shift around your thoughts around sexuality, only then execute this permission slip of transmuting your sexual energy, because your sexual energy will be clean enough to do that. So how do you do it? There are many ways to do it. There are different energy schools or healers who do it in different way. I'm going to show you 2 ways to do it. One is you can take your hands and hold them in this way, face to face, your palms facing each other, and bring it to your sexual organ with one hand on each side of your organ, as if you are surrounding it, not touching it, just lightly surrounding it. And imagine the sexual energy from your sexual organ. Feel that energy. Sense it with your hands. If you're an energy healer and if you have sensitive hands, you'll be able to sense the quality of that energy. If you can't, that's all right too. So just keep your hand held around your sexual organ as if you are feeling the sexual energy. Now, keeping your hands placed there, imagine yourself scooping that energy with your hand, as if you're scooping that energy, and then smear it in all your body. It's like picking up the energy from your sexual organ and spreading it everywhere on your body, especially your brain. So take it and scoop it. and smear it. Scoop it and smear it all over your body. Smear it all over your body. Do this 5 times and not more than that, because if you overdo it, it's going to deplete your sexual organs. If you are menstruating, please do not do it. If you have just had sex, then don't do it. Wait for 2-3 hours before you do it, because your organs wouldn't have enough sexual energy to distribute, because that is discharged during sex. So please keep these points in mind. If you have any sexual disease, please don't do this exercise even after shadow work or crystal work unless you have healed that illness, because the illness energy will otherwise get spread all over the body. That is why I'm taking great care and giving you the instruction to clean the sexual energy before you transmute it. You can even take the sexual energy to heal certain parts of your body. Say if you have illness and if you need healing, you can scoop the sexual energy and smear only on that part of the body to accelerate the healing. However, please do not do it on tumor cells or cancer cells, because they will accelerate instead of healing. So please keep that in mind. Or if you are experiencing senility or memory loss or any kind of mental degeneration, forgetfulness, headaches, whatever, you can take the sexual energy and use more on your head, crown, brain, to help healing the brain. If you want to look younger, like many women your age wish to, you can distribute it on your face or all over your skin and body. So there are endless ways you can use this sexual energy for yourself, energetically speaking. Now I'm going to describe the second way you can transmute this energy instead of this one. Or if you're not comfortable using this method, you can use the second method. Both methods work just fine. The second method is fill a bottle of water and simply put the water bottle near your sexual organ, not on top of it, near it, and hold it there for 10-15 minutes and instruct the water to absorb your sexual energy, to be charged with your sexual energy. Just instruct the water in the bottle, please absorb my sexual energy, the clean sexual energy, please absorb it. Instruct and program the water and simply hold near your sexual organ, not on top of it, not hurting yourself, just near it. And you can sit while you're doing this or lie down. Hold it for 10 minutes. 10 is fine. Don't overdo it, because again, you will end up depleting your sexual energy. 10 is fine, 10 minutes. So the water, when it comes in contact with your sexual energy and is instructed to absorb it, it will retain that energetic quality, that vibration of your sexual energy. So give it time to absorb. Don't overdo it, not more than 10. And then drink the water. It will automatically distribute itself throughout your body. You can Drink it in one go, or you can drink throughout the day. Make sure no one else drinks that water and only you do. So, these are the two ways you can transmute your sexual energy. Make sure you are transmuting only when you have cleansed your sexual energy in the methods that I described. And notice the changes in your life, your body, how you look, how you feel about yourself. Take note of that because that will inspire and motivate you to complete the process. That is all for today's transmission. Good day. Wow. I feel you guys may have a lot of questions around it. So if you have some doubts or questions about this process, or if you did it and you faced some hitch or problem, feel free to email me. You have my email shared there, or you can comment in the product description page, wherever the comment section is. You can reach out to me through any one of these methods. I will also share the links of Michael's transmission on Shadows of Humanity, as well as the Awakening of Divine Feminine, those two transmission link if you want to watch them and do this work even better, so that you can decide it's optional, it's not mandatory. So yeah, feel free to reach out with the results or questions or whatever. I hope you have enjoyed this and good day.